Hey everybody, welcome to On the Brink. I'm Dylan Brinkman. This is my man Kurt. Yep, you don't get it. We know you don't want to talk. Yeah, you know you don't want to talk. You're not a talker. So we're gonna give you a little backstory on what is the red truck we know as Dirty Gold. A lot of this footage is really old, and I wasn't planning on doing YouTube when I took this footage. So a lot of it's from Snapchat. And fair warning, this video will not be monetized. There's a lot of language in it, so if you're watching with your children, you might want to rethink that decision at this moment. But we thank you for being here nonetheless. All right, let's get into it. So these first photos, we're just kind of showcasing how much of a pile this truck is. You can see the wonderful rust down here. That's a terrible photo of the fuel tank. There is the rockers, or what's left of them. I'm surprised.
Should be.
Surprised this hasn't rusted. Why is this bare metal not rusted yet? I don't know. That's the way it is.
All the wonders of the red truck.
Clear coat, peeling, banged up bed sides. That one got crinkled pretty good. I don't remember how that one happened. More junk. The back of the bed completely caved into the body there. That door handle has been missing, I don't know, 6 years or so now. I've owned the truck for 4. No intention of ever replacing it. There's this little lever down in there. It's basically anti-theft. Broken taillight. So this is one of the original motor mounts. This truck started life as a 4.3 V6. And I just threw this in here because this is like a spacer for the motor mount, if I remember right. That's how it works.
It's what held the motor mount to the engine.
All right. Either way, when we put the new engine in it, we had to waller one of these out pretty significantly. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of that one. Unless it was this one down here. That looks a little egg-shaped. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we only had like 3 bolts in it at one time.
We reused the V6 mounts to initially put the new engine in there. It actually worked out kind of nice because it had the engine going back an extra inch, which, race car, weight distribution.
No, it was horrible. There was no space on the back between the firewall and the engine.
You don't need that.
We had to move so much.
No. So there's the new engine we got put in. This is a all aluminum 5.7 LS1. Came out of a 2000 Trans Am. We drove like 100 miles into Indiana to get this engine. I don't know why I felt I needed an aluminum engine. I don't know. I paid a lot of money for this engine that was completely unnecessary. I should have just bought a truck engine. So I didn't have a truck at the time. My only truck I currently had was this one here with the V6 still in it and just about 200,000 miles. And I asked my boss at work if I could borrow a company truck to go get this new engine, and he told me no. So we just took the red truck. About 70 miles an hour.
Full throttle.
Air conditioning running. It was working pretty hard, but we made it. It wasn't an issue.
We made it.
I was proud of the truck. I questioned seriously whether or not we should tear it down because I didn't mention it earlier, but I only paid $200 for this truck. They thought it had a blown head gasket, but you'd be surprised what a few cans of seafoam could fix. That's a stock 853 heads. We didn't do anything to this engine. We just bought it and stabbed it in. Here we are robbing electrical from the old 4.3 in order to do something on the new engine. I don't even remember.
Well, we got a wire harness with the motor, and then I tried scavenging it all together, and then I messed up and I cut some wires I shouldn't have.
Sounds about right. So here we jumped straight forward. Again, it wasn't great filming, but we jumped straight forward to first fire up.
Oh my God! What a...
So a couple things to note there is my overexcitement. I was excited. It was very loud. What you're hearing, though, you might think is camshaft. It's not. It is all of the vacuum leaks. There was no vacuum in this engine whatsoever. But either way, I really liked it. That's Curtis there bent over the engine. I don't know what he's doing, looking at things.
Holding wires together so it start.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that's what I was doing.
That sounds about right. Second attempt.
Wow! What's on fire?
Nothing ended up being on fire. There were things smoking. Kurt told me to stop really quickly, which made me wonder what was happening.
Oh, the coolant was just spewing out of the front of the motor too. Yes, that was a major thing that was happening.
You also note that immediately upon fire up, I just went straight into the revs. I had no gauges, didn't know if there was oil pressure. We knew nothing, but it was on open headers and it sounded real good. So just wide open, right?
Headers that we beat with a hammer.
Well, that's customization. This whole
Yeah,
truck's customized.
yeah.
It's
Custom.
Yeah, everybody does that. Now, before I start this video, I'd like to note this is a battery charger from roughly, I'm going to say, 1923. This thing, it was so sketchy. We broke it using it. Like, I think it was built for 6-volt. Like, it was, I borrowed it from my uncle. This is how poor I was. I had to borrow this from my uncle. Asked for a battery charger. Yeah, I got one. I show up, and this is what he hands me. What am I supposed to say? Yeah, I don't want this pile of
No,
garbage.
thank
No, yeah. So we took it and then broke it. So this is just showing we got it to move under its own power. This is with the original 4.3 4L60E transmission. More revs, because every time you start it, you got to rev
That
it.
was a good transmission. Yeah.
Yeah, it lasted a while. There's no gauges whatsoever. I had no idea what was going on in the engine, so every day after work I would just get in it and rev it a whole bunch and feel like a man. So here is photographic evidence of it actually being on the road and driving. You can see we're doing about 42 mile an hour at 2800 RPM. Every light is on.
Fuel gauge is past full.
Yeah, that actually broke. It got stuck. I'm going to say we aren't currently running at about 150 pounds of oil pressure. That's probably not accurate. I think the voltmeter's working. I think that one's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's okay. So here, I just took it out for a little putt. As you can see right there, the fuse box just blowing in the wind right there. It's not mounted to anything. At this point in time, the transmission is hooked up to toggle switches because this engine was originally in a manual car, so the computer we got with it would not control the transmission. So we did some Googling and figured out that there's only 2 solenoids in the 4L60 that command shifts and that you could wire them to switches. The problem is that knowing exactly which position to have which switch in at which time, it got real confusing. And I don't know if it was between not knowing how to flip switches to shift gears or just the fact that it was a V6 transmission that had 200,000 miles on it. It eventually gave in. It quit doing things. This is me just being an idiot. I got this cold air intake off, the Evil Bay, and I'm just an idiot. This is when the wiring issues started.
This was interesting. I love the fuse box. Love the fuse box.
The whole relay panel is just. Is it still like that? Nah, I think it's mounted to
No,
something.
I think we mounted it.
But it would just do this randomly whenever it wanted to. I don't think we ever actually figured it out. It just stopped doing it. So as far as I'm concerned, we fixed it. So this is, like I said, this is Snapchat footage. So we just got the truck running and driving. So I decided I might as well tear it all apart now. That only makes sense. And you'll see that theme quite often throughout the life of this truck. Yeah. So here we started to lower the suspension. This is the rear suspension lowered. I don't have any footage of it. I'm sorry. I think, did we do that together or did you do that most of the
No, we did that. We cut out the whole
Oh, yeah, that's
frame
right.
and-
Yeah. So the truck's on a 4.6 drop right now, but I bought springs for the V6 model. So I think it brought the front down another inch. And then I didn't like it because it had a bit of a rake. So we ended up putting shackles in it to get the rear end down another, did we do 1 or 2 inches?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, nobody cares. It's 1 or 2 more inches. But yeah, we had to cut the frame all up, C-notch it. That's held, I think it's got like 3 bolts in each C-notch? Something like that. It's enough.
Oh, yeah. We got enough bolts in.
Yeah, maybe we'll weld it later, because we're both welders. A little better photo of it. She's sitting pretty low. I'm working on the front suspension here, I believe. This is in my father's shop. This is before we moved to the shop we're currently in now. Oh, all this stuff on the wall. This is all his stuff. So there's the front spring difference. I broke my favorite hammer doing this, and I still miss that hammer sometimes. I had that one customized with lightning. This light here, though, I will say, still using that today. This photo was taken like 4 years ago. It's a good light. This is just, I don't know what this is.
That's the knuckle in.
We got the spindle in there. That's a 2-inch drop spindle, and then a 2-inch lowering spring is how you get 4 inches in the front. And then all this is like, that's so bad. The inner fenders are just gone.
Because we removed them.
This is kind of cringy. That was a profile picture for quite some time. I was pretty proud of myself. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just hard to look at. New wheel day. So the wheels were kind of interesting. I knew I had to have this web design here, right? Wanted to have it. But I can't afford 3-piece wheels. That's just not possible. So this is what I found. But I could only get them with this crazy offset. If you guys see this here. Because these are for a truck. These are what the truck kids run nowadays. I wanted 12 inches wide. We wanted a lot of meat in the back, but you couldn't get them in a different offset. So I just ordered them. The fronts are 20 by 9s. The rears are these 20 by 12s. The fronts are much more respectable. This is a little much. So when I got them, naturally I had to put them on instantly, and this is what I found. That's bolted up. So they stuck out a little further than we anticipated. I mean, I say anticipated, but we didn't measure anything.
Nothing.
I just
Thing.
bought them. So that was a concern. There's the fronts. The fronts even stuck out a little bit. That just really crushed me. I didn't know what to do at this point, but I didn't have any money. So these are the wheels we're running. So I hate black wheels. I do not like them. You can't see anything in them. I don't know why people run them.
You
So
like the green paint, though.
that is tape.
Oh, okay.
Decided to paint them. But I don't want to paint all of the wheel because that would be boring and too easy. We have to do things as difficultly as possible. So I decided just to paint, the centers. And originally I was going with like a copper thing. Red and copper I thought looked really good together. So I spent literally 10 hours on a Saturday in December in the shop doing this. You'll probably learn later throughout the series here, but I do not like painting. And the most thing I don't like about painting is the prep work and the masking. I hate it. But I suffered through and I did this. There's the base coat coming out pretty good. Feeling pretty good about myself. And then this happens. I don't know what you guys are seeing on your end there, but this is not copper. This is some sort of sunburst orange. I don't know
You
what.
were going for gold.
Not at first. Not at first. It was a copper theme. I thought gold was too much. Right? This was back when I was still a little reserved. So it's not bad by any means, but it's not what I wanted. And I put them on, and I can't get behind this. So this isn't actually paint. This is it's not Plastidip. It's spray on vinyl. That's what it is. Spray on vinyl. So it's supposed to come off real easy. You can change it out. It's supposed to be really durable. Blah blah blah. It's my first experience with it. There you can see the can that I used. So I don't know if you want to chalk this up to operator error. It's very possible. I do a lot of things incorrectly. But I followed the directions on the can, and I think I sent this photo to the company. They ended up giving me a new color for like free or something. I ended up not using it because I didn't trust it anymore, and also because this happened. That day was terrible. Oh, God. Tiny little razor knife, just Every wheel, because naturally, why would I just paint one wheel at a time? No, you mask them all off and you bounce, right? So you spray your first base coat on one, then go to the next one. By the time you get through them all, you know, the first one's ready for another coat, right? That's efficiency.
Makes sense.
That's efficiency.
Yeah.
Until you realize that you have the wrong color, and then you've just messed up four wheels. But this is where we're at.
All or nothing.
That's a theme around here. So, back to black wheels, and I do not like it at all. So yeah, I was concerned about how low it sat to the ground. Honestly, I kind of still am, but that's what we're working with. It's not much.
No, you can't get underneath it.
No, you can't even put it on the lift without jacking it up.
Nope, got to jack it up, put it on the lift.
So finally got tires here and backed it out. Notice back here, old blue. We'll talk about old blue later. Right now, it is giving life to the red truck here. This truck's been in my life since I was 10 years old. Still got it. I finally just took ownership of it. I'm real excited about that truck.
He is.
So this is me playing with filters a little bit for the first time, and I like this one a lot because it really showcased all the rust. It really just makes it pop. This missing cab corner down here and all this nasty stuff. I like it. I like it the way it is. You know, you're not afraid to beat it up. I don't care. We put it in the ditch. It'll be all right. There's so the rear tires don't look near as aggressive with the tires on them as it was previously with just the wheels, but it does definitely stick out too much. I'm not a fan of it, but this is what we have. Yeah, there's a better picture of it. Those are, yeah, for anyone asking, those are Vision wheels. I believe they're rockers. Like I said 20 by 12 with like a negative 51 in the rear and 20 by 9s in the front. Pretty affordable. Here we have video evidence of it running.
That was good.
Straight headers, no O2 sensors, no map sensor. I can't believe it ran.
Neither could I.
I threw this in here just because I missed this car. It's my old Volkswagen, and if you can tell, I kind of like my vehicles low. America. So new transmission day.
After we blew up the first one.
Yeah, so that one blew up. No surprise to anybody.
No.
So I ended up buying this built auto. It's a 4L60. I wanted a manual, but we have zero fab skills. We were still working in my father's shop, very limited tools, and I just didn't think that we were capable of putting a manual transmission in this truck because it didn't have one originally. So this is what I did. I was sick and tired of the truck sitting. I wanted to drive it, so I went this route, and I got some interesting shifters to at least make the driving experience a little more fun. But I definitely regret it now. As you can tell, we didn't bother to clean the bell housing, paint it, tail shaft too. We just slap her together. Let's get this sucker on the road. There's the shifter I was talking about. So this is a Kilduff shifter, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is just a guy in his garage in California. He's got a couple YouTube videos, and from the look of them, this guy likes to party. I would recommend them. They're very neat if you're running a manual. This transmission is a full manual valve body, so you have to shift every gear. But you could run this shifter with a normal valve body and just put it in drive, or you can shift when you want to. It's a really neat option if you want to be a little unique. You know, just change your driving experience a little bit. There it is in the truck, and here you can see these toggle switches right down here. I didn't photograph them much. These are the original toggle switches that we were first shifting the transmission on. They were sketchy to say the least.
That was fun wiring up.
Yeah, I didn't participate much in that. I thought I knew what I was doing, and every time I said something, Kurt said no, or said nothing, and then just did whatever he wanted to do, which is pretty typical.
Pretty typical.
I've learned to just let him go. So here I needed to order some switches, and eBay froze up on me, so I clicked buy it now like 5 times, and I ended up with 20 toggle switches and 20 limit switches. I don't even remember why I thought I needed limit switches. So if any of you guys out there, if you're close, you need a switch, just give me a shout. I'll give you a switch. It's no big deal. Here we wired in one of the switches for, was that for fuel or ignition? I think it was for ignition.
Was it?
Yeah.
No.
I just thought it was funny when I was working on this. I noticed that all the dirt in my disgusting truck, it would dance when I started it. Now that doesn't say race truck. I don't know what does.
It's rumbling.
We never put an exhaust system on this truck ever.
No.
This is me thinking I'm going to SEMA and found a super awesome place to put a switch. Basically, I'm an idiot. So here's first person on the road with the new transmission and shifter.
Can you hear me shifting it?
So sadly, like that's the only time I ever really even got on this truck when it was running. We went sideways a little bit there. Only time it's ever happened. Because it was just problem after problem at this point. This is me thinking I'm hilarious. I went to the junkyard to get radiator hoses, I think.
Yeah, we got radiator hoses.
What we
a couple
decided
other
there.
things there.
We went here several times for parts.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep in mind, we're poor. Okay?
No money.
Yeah, don't deserve a race truck, don't need a race truck, but want a race truck, so work a lot of hours and try and be able to afford a race truck. So here I got these tire stickers. Just, I like being able to see the wheels move, right? It gives something to look at. They're really neat. I wish you could get white lettering tires. You just can't get them anymore these days.
And if you do, they're really expensive.
And they're small, like the lettering is real small. So I got these. They look really cool. Do not recommend. I don't have the patience to install things like this, so I didn't do a very good job. Now, if you're the type of person that can do that, more power to you. And I can't tell you how long they last because I've put 6 miles on the truck since this happened.
Pushing miles.
Yeah.
Pushing, not driven.
I haven't really driven it since these guys. This truck sucks. So here's new tire stickers. It looks good. I really like the way it looks. This is more. I miss my Volkswagen. And here you can see that rake I was talking about. This is before we dropped the rear a little more. And that tire just looks dumb. we gotta figure that out. So here's the only outside the truck evidence of it actually being a truck. It's not good footage.
Taking on a Nokia from '95, I think.
Those didn't even have cameras back then. That's it. That's all I got. It's the only evidence that it was ever actually a truck. So this, I don't even want to play this. This is one of my brilliant ideas. You ready for the stroke of brilliance I've got? Stay with me here.
Got a dog down here.
These bedsides junk, we all know it. Well, you can get flared ones that are for pre-runners or Baja trucks, right? And I think they'll cover this, right? Replace the whole thing, made of fiberglass, saving weight. And then on top of it, let's go ahead and cut this right down here. Open her up, cut the other side back here, right? Make ram air right here to rear mount radiator, fuel tank, maybe even intercooler. It's never gonna happen. Then you get the same for the front, because let's just be honest, these aren't super nice. Like, was that dirt? I don't know what that is. Cover them tires up a little more. Yeah. Rear ram air, rear radiator. I'm liking it a lot. Yes. So I still think it's a good idea, but it'll never happen. And it'll probably be a whole lot of work if it were to happen, and probably wouldn't work that well. So sure we'll never do it. I had a buddy of mine, Mark Word, Jason, if you're watching, shout out. Sweet battery box. He made this for me all of aluminum. That's how the battery fits in there. Pretty nice unit. Still haven't even actually, he probably made that for me 2 years ago. I haven't mounted it yet. Finally decided to spray paint the bell housing. The only spray paint I had was chrome, so we got a chrome bell housing. This was, what, the second time we took the trans out after installing it?
Oh, I lost count.
Yeah, I think it was 3 total. I think I decided while the trans was out, I'd go ahead and paint this up.
Which transmission did we take out 3 times?
The new one.
We took that out more than that, didn't we?
I don't think so. So here, oh God, here you go. This is it going back in with the sweet painted bell housing. But this is me, as you read there, I've given up on this transmission. It is just pouring fluid constantly, and we cannot figure out why. We ended up figuring it out. There was no front seal in it. That cost me about $400 to figure out. I just took it to a shop. Don't claim to be a transmission guy, but as you see here, I'm switching to manual. So we can get more into that later, but that's gonna happen. This transmission's still in the truck today, but it's not gonna be there very long. So this is moving day. I finally bought my own place, my own shop, and this is what it takes. If you don't know this already, if you wanna haul around a lowered truck, this is the kind of nonsense it takes to get onto trailers. It was not fun. Keep in mind the truck, did we drive it up on this? Did it drive right now? I think it drove right now, it just poured transmission fluid.
Did it?
Yeah, I think we drove it up there, but I didn't want to drive.
Yeah.
I didn't want to drive it all the way to my house because of how much fluid it would lose.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it went. Yeah. So that's what happened. We drove it up there, but could you imagine if we had to push it up there? You couldn't.
Oh no, we couldn't have.
Oh God, terrible times. There's the new shop. That's where we're currently sitting at right now. Truck sat there for quite a while because it was right around this time the truck quit running, and I could not figure it out. So here I'm trying to figure out. That's a diode light. I got it hooked up to the fuel injectors to see if they are firing. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not.
All right, crank it. Good.
Yeah, so the fuel injectors were firing. I pretty much put it up to something dumb was happening with the electrical system, like a ground wire, or I fried the computer. Because you remember that old battery box I told you about, or battery jump box I told you about? I ended up buying one myself and spent a lot of money on it, and I got a really big one, and I think it was too big. 'Cause the first time I used it, I put it on this red truck, and I put it on boost, which was like 265 amps. And when I got in the truck and turned the key to the on position, the whole truck just went ooh. So naturally, I just immediately fired the truck, and it ran. But man, something wasn't right there. So
You can tell me that one.
oh yeah, it was bad. We gave up on it at this point. So I started looking for shops that would take in a truck that had been, every piece of it had been touched, because nobody wants to work on that. I found one, explained to him the situation, said he'd work on it. So this is him hauling it away. Listen to his truck, boy, it sounds good. It doesn't sound good. That's a 7.3 IDI non-turbo straight pipe. It sounds so terrible. But that's him. He agreed to pick it up and take it to his shop. And it was at his shop for quite a while before he even touched it.
Yeah, I kept pushing in and out, in and out.
He finally figured it out. It was a loose ground wire. That's all it was. And then, like the day after he figured it out, I went up there to pay him, I believe, and pick the truck up. And found out he blew it up the night before. Or it blew up, however you want to say it. Truck blew up. Pretty sure we had rod knock pretty heavily. Oh, it took quite a bit of talking to convince him what we were going to do. We came up with the plan. I don't want to get lawyers involved. He didn't have the money to pay me for the engine, so we decided we would rebuild the engine at his shop with his tools. But me and Kurt were going to be there for the whole process because I don't really trust him at this point, because the way he told me the truck blew up, I just didn't really believe. But I wasn't there. So we made this plan. Me and Kurt show up on the day and the time that we were going to start tearing this engine apart. I even brought pizza for the whole shop just to try and smooth things over and make this go as easily as possible. And I woke the guy up. He slept at his shop. I woke him up. He wasn't even ready. And at that point, I lost my shit. I lost my mind. Kurt pulled in, and I asked him to call his dad and see if we could use his trailer. His truck was unavailable, so I called my boss at work and asked if I could borrow a company truck. So we went and got the company truck, then we went and got the trailer, then we went and got my truck, and we were done with that guy. We just took it home. And this This is that. This is us loading it up at his shop. This is when we got it loaded. This is super sketchy. Yep. Those are ratchet strapped to the truck. Time of my life. What do you think, Kurt? Ready?
Yeah.
There's the pizza. I told you I bought
the
pizza. Made it to the new house. And then getting it off the trailer was more interesting than getting it off. Or getting it on. Curtis, you want to explain to me what we're doing right now?
We're jacking up the front end so the body doesn't.
Let's just talk about Curtis right here. Do you see this? Or do you see what's going on here? Look how young you are. What has happened to you?
What happened to you?
I look the exact
No,
same.
you don't. They haven't even showed you yet.
Oh, I've been in this. I've been in this, Curtis. The pork chops are gone. Your skin is a completely different color.
Well, I've been working on it. Rub all the way off the trailer.
So we're gonna jack up the front end. We've already got these super sturdy pallets back here to help pick the back up. Because after you move 2 inches, the bottom of the truck hits because someone decided to build this truck so low to the ground. Who was that, Kurt? Whose idea was that?
You?
Oh, we're not using them no more?
Oh, we're using them here.
I felt so strong in my belief of how those would help us. No, we're gonna rely on the fucking jack up here. That'll do it. Those nice wheels there. Lots of suspension and support in them. You proud of yourself?
I am.
He's so happy. Look how happy he is. He's so happy. All right, so here I am sitting in the truck, working the brake pedal while Kurt tries to get it off the trailer. It's a disaster.
It was a good time.
I had fun with it.
This is my view of this horribleness. We are on a trailer. Curtis has the front jacked up. There's 2 super sketchy pallets. I'll record if I want to. I need to remember this.
Kurt didn't want to be on YouTube at this point in time.
Oh my God. You remember that scene in Jurassic Park 1 when they're in the Explorers? Jesus Christ. And they stop running. And then all the lights go off and you see the cable snap. Dink, dink, dink. And you're just waiting for the inevitable. That's what I feel like right now. Oh my God. Yeah, shake it around, Kurt. That'll help.
That's enough of this video. There's not much more in there. I'm just sitting there complaining the whole time, making Jurassic Park references. Here we got it all finally. Woo! That's some strong pallets there, boy. Man, not every day you see a truck getting delivered on pallets. Now I just need 1 under the back tires and 4 forklifts. We'll get her in there, no problem. Ain't that right there, Kurt?
That's right.
Yeah, man with the ideas there. I'm an idiot. Whatever. Kurt got it off the trailer. I'm sure I didn't participate that much. So here it is in its new shop finally. This is the shop we're currently sitting in. Got her back home and immediately started working on it. It gets depressing from here, I warn you.
It's the 4th time.
This is my life again.
It's been out.
Super thrilled.
It was at least a second.
No, we put it in, it blew up, then it came out,
Didn't
and
we
now
we took it out one other time there, didn't we?
What for?
I don't remember. I thought we took it out another time.
No.
No?
No.
I feel like we put that motor in there quite a few times
No,
trying to get it
no,
to fit.
no.
at
It's all
least.
just blended together. It's just a blur of agony. Here you can see
I like this one.
the destruction. If you know what you're looking at, you'll understand. Kurt thinks it's funny. He doesn't have a dollar in this thing. This is what's left of my bearing. See that little guy there? That's bullshit. No bearing in here at all. Yeah, so the guy told me he was moving it from one side of the shop to the other. This is like the end of November, I believe, so it's cold out here in Ohio. He told me he fired it up and moved it from one side of the shop to the other, and it developed rod knock. I am just not believing it. It had oil in it. It had good oil in it. Personally, the truck was running on headers, and it was loud, and it was cool. I believe he fired it up and instantly put it to the wood like he wanted to, and that's why he blew my bearings out. I don't know, though. I wasn't there. My wonderful crankshaft there, just all worn to garbage. Had to get a whole new one. I couldn't turn that one. It was too messed up. More bearings. I don't know why you smile when these photos come up. I get
I
sad.
tried not to that time. I really did.
I know, but when you try, I can see that you're trying not to. There's the oil pickup. All this shiny stuff, these chunky chunks, they're not supposed to be there.
Pro tip, best way to change your engine oil is to take it out and tear it all the way apart. This way you make sure you get all the oil out. Every last drop.
This is me. I'm just trying to make this as fun as possible. It's really, it's soul crushing. I mean, I have fun doing this stuff, but it costs so much money. So many monies.
Yep, there she is. All broke down. Completely empty. A million parts scattered all over. Nuts and bolts all bagged up and labeled, nice and purty.
Big fan of that. Always do that.
Time for a turbo, right?
Just throw them around wherever you
Yeah,
want.
maybe we'll go to
That's
the
exactly how Kurt
machine
works.
shop first.
We are not compatible. I don't know
What to
how.
do with the rest of the day now.
I don't even know how
Bored.
we get stuff done. I spend most of my time putting away tools that Kurt's done using.
Yeah, they're full of grease too, so he really likes that. That's
So naturally, the engine's tore down to nothing, so I went and bought a turbo. Things get kind of out of hand from here.
it was cheap.
It was cheap. I did buy this on Facebook Marketplace. It said it was never ran. It looked like it had never been ran. I think I gave like $250 for the turbo, blow-off valve, and a wastegate. It's nothing special. It's on 3 performance, 75, 78 with a 96 AR. Don't ask me what those numbers mean. The air comes out of the engine into the ugly housing, and then it spins the spinny thingy, and it compresses it on the other side, and then it cools it.
Through the cooler, yeah.
And
That's
then
how a turbo works.
Then it goes into the engine. That's how turbos do things.
Yeah, if you didn't know that.
So this is where delusion set in pretty heavily. I kind of knew what drag week was, but I didn't know a whole lot about it. And I kind of seen it as like a roadkill thing. Like anybody could just go, right? So I decided we were going. Had no truck, no engine, no nothing. We didn't make it.
No.
Spoiler alert.
It broke.
This is list like 1 of 4 at the time, just to kind of showcase how expensive this whole thing. It really got out of hand. Now keep in mind, you don't have to buy everything I bought. Like Kurt said before, all or nothing. So I tend to live like that, not intentionally. Like I don't go in thinking that. It just progresses over time. You know, the whole, well, while I'm in here, or might as well, just it gets out of hand fast. Be warned.
Well, let the weight reduction begin. This is the kind of crap that happens when your engine looks like that. If I swept this, I'd probably lose another 25 pounds. Now to decide if we skin doors and hoods. It's real life commitment, though.
I don't know who I thought I was, like, gonna shave all this weight on this truck and go to drag week and do all this stuff. Like, what made me think I could do that?
We tried.
Kinda.
Yeah, we did.
So here I started looking at roll cages because you need some kind of roll cage depending on how fast you're gonna go and what I was guessing we were gonna do, which wasn't that fast, but we needed something. And I believe just to go like 10s, like 999, you basically need, you know, the main beam, the main support structure, and a harness bar. Well, like I said, all or nothing, right? So it got out of hand real fast. Here's evidence of it. The whole interior's out. The dash is on the way out. That dash, I cringe anytime we talk about doing something with the dash.
We took that out twice, didn't we?
Oh my God, it was so bad. Here it is, all the way out. All right, Bob. I think this is about as far as it's gonna go. I do not want to take the heater core out because I want to keep it and I don't want to have to put it back in. Just run the bar underneath it. Also, I don't think this dash is ever going back on. It did actually go back on. I fought it every step of the way. Kurt made me put it back in. Bob, I'm talking to in there, he's the dude who helped with the roll cage. It wouldn't have happened without him. You'll see him coming up.
Well, you also wanted to put didn't you also want to put like a stainless steel?
Yeah, I wanted to build my own dash.
Yeah,
with-
yeah, obviously all or nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
100 times more work. And
Oh yeah.
I seriously looked into it.
Individual cluster, yeah, just everything.
Yeah, that didn't happen either.
Nope.
Things just keep going south from here. Now the bed's off the truck, and every time I turn around, something else is off the truck, which is the opposite of what we need to be doing right now. So it's starting to freak me out a bit.
Well, then anytime we'd put something on, we'd end up taking it back off anyways. So
You had to
that
make it
seemed to be a running thing
to
too.
customize it and make it
Yeah.
fit better.
Yeah.
What do you say, Kurt? Can we call it a day finally?
Yeah, we can call it a day.
Jesus Christ. I was pretty emotionally beaten down this day because everything just came out of and off of the truck. Like, we had a running driving truck with a transmission issue. Then we had a truck with a transmission issue and a blown up engine. Working on fixing the engine. And then the next thing I know, we have no interior, we have no bed, we have no fuel tank. We basically have suspension and wheels.
It got out of hand real quick.
Oh my God. So here's Bob working on designing the roll cage in CAD. I don't know anything. I don't do computers. I don't know how to do the. You're lucky I figured out how to do the screen recording thing.
Version 1.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Get on that one.
This is me buying head studs and being really annoyed at how expensive they are. They're just so expensive. Here we go with the first bend. Not much to see in there. So you see that's a JD2 bender. This is Bob's. He's got the fancy foot pedal, the pneumatic arm, so we don't have to do it by hand. Bob bought this. Bob wanted to build roll cages. Bob likes buying tools that he doesn't necessarily need. So I knew he had this, and I'm like, hey man, why don't you come down here and build a roll cage? And effectively, he was like, all right. So here we are, building a roll cage. Nobody's ever done it before. Like, let's keep that in mind. No one in this room's ever built a roll cage before. I've never bent a piece of tube. There's the first bar going in. Super proud of ourselves.
I still question if you could call it the first bar.
That was the first bar. It was in the truck.
Fucking fun over here. Bob, tell us what's going on.
I fucked up.
What'd you fuck up?
I kind of had the A-pillars move over the steering wheel.
That's a junk pile there. Look out. We
That's not junk.
We got one good piece. Oh, Jesus.
You don't need to hear that. So, yeah, that's Bob. Bob's doing his own thing now, Nocturnal Motorsports. Check him out. He's got a 4500 series, I believe. Ultra 4. That's his deal, racing Ultra 4. But the thing to take away from this video is every time we screwed something up, it just got funnier and funnier. The whole point's to have fun, right?
Yeah, it is.
We're supposed to be having fun
It's supposed
doing
to be
this.
fun. We're having fun.
So,
This is fun.
so every time we screw something up, it became, Bob thought this was the best time ever. And because he thought it was so hilarious, I found it funny too. But that tube wasn't cheap. And well, we were burning through it. And it wasn't going in the truck pretty quick. I believe it
It
took,
would go in the truck. A lot of it ended up in the truck.
Yeah.
It just a lot of it came back out.
took 12 hours to get the first correct piece built. 12 hours. Bob, what's happening right now?
Redesigning the roll cage.
We're like completely redesigning it?
No, we're using one piece.
The one that we got right?
Yeah.
But we're starting completely over, correct?
No, we have one piece.
I feel like we might as well just say we're starting completely over.
That's fine.
This happened quite often. So here's Bob. We decided to take a break and come in the house and get on the internet and do some research. This is him redesigning it. We're calling it the 6th time here. I lost count, honestly. Things, yeah, it was just one thing after another. So this is a screenshot I took. I'm glad I saved it. So Kurt wasn't involved in the roll cage at all. He was doing his own thing. But I would keep him updated on how things were going. So here, this is me. I send this message, or I send him a video. He says, it's nice to see you. Kurt's not good at typing, whatever. It's been an eventful day. I say, you have no idea. Then he asked me what I got done. I say, we incorrectly bent 40 feet of tubing, completely redesigned the entire cage, broke some tools, built some tools, laughed, cried, starting over now. And Kurt says, sounds like a normal day working on the truck, which is, like, that's the perfect response because it absolutely was just another day working on the truck. First bar, take 2. Now, if you're looking at this and you have any idea about drag week and NHRA stuff, you know that this is already incorrect. I didn't know that. So I don't know how to build a roll cage. I didn't bother to look in the rule book like I should have. Bob's coming in with all the experience and the knowledge, and I'm kind of following his lead, and his experience and knowledge is based upon off-roading. It's a whole different ballgame. Off-roading, they pretty much just need to keep you alive. Until you get into the big race and stuff or whatnot. But yeah, this is already incorrect, but we go deeper. Here you can see the cage from outside, and I just think it's super cool, and I'm the coolest kid on the planet because I have a roll cage in my truck that doesn't have an engine or transmission or bed or fuel system. There's another one. You can see the bar. Me just thinking I'm cool. Here you can really tell. Like, we're proud of ourselves. Like, things are going together, things are level, but it's all wrong. It's all wrong.
All wrong.
The ratchet straps here are structurally integral, but we're making progress, getting things tied together. Nothing's perfect. We're learning. That's part of what I love about this the most. We learn as we go. That does get expensive, but, you forget about it once you get that next paycheck, or 2 of them.
3.
Win the lottery. This is just hilarious to me because, as you can see by the title there, this happens constantly. Back to spending too much money. I came into the store and I needed 2 of these things, and this is what I left with. It happens every time. Spend hundreds of dollars. Sometimes it works out. Scrap pile's getting smaller, so things are moving in the right direction, starting to feel better about the roll cage. Fitment here, you can see this bar here, tube, whatever you want to call it, right on the door card here. So feeling good. Fitment looks nice. And then this. The fitment's pretty good there, huh, boys?
It's perfect.
Bob thought this was the funniest thing on the planet. This is my strong handle. And if you get that reference, you get that reference. Bob's probably watching this right now, just possibly urinating himself. He thinks this is the funniest thing ever. Moving on. Bob again. Got the door bar in, just checking things out. I'm pretty sure it's late now. We're working on it. Probably 12, 14-hour days. Looking like a roll cage. Feeling really good about ourselves. That's Josh in the background. I guess I haven't mentioned him. He came out to help too. He's a big help on the roll cage. He's a buddy of Bob's from college.
Wasn't his welder?
He brought a welder. They both brought their own welders. Yep. I did not have one at the time. So what are we seriously talking about doing right now, Bob?
Knocking out the rear window and putting some badass bars in.
Some badass bars in? Yeah, this thing looks so cool. We're gonna put badass bars in it. I'm an idiot. They are badass. I'm sure they have a name, but they're just super cool. You see the bars coming out the back of the truck. I think it's awesome. We don't have badass bars.
No.
There you can see the cage in the background here, tied in through the window. Gonna call it a good day. You would think it would be a good day, but you're about to learn it really wasn't that good.
All right, so day 3 of the roll cage. I'm just now going out to the shop. 2 guys been out here for like half an hour now by themselves working. I just got out the shower. And I realized as I'm walking out here, I'm wearing Crocs. I'm not really, helping a whole lot in the work part of this because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm pretty sure I am the white hurt.
Pretty sure. If you guys know who Hurt is, you understand what I'm saying. Kurt doesn't know.
Nope.
Kurt doesn't. You guys know though, right? Hoonigan, come on. We got Bob cutting in a notch with a saw that is just done. It's done. And he just keeps going in it. Oh man.
Melting metal.
It's basically flat. Bad. Video of Bob welding. The whole cage was, these guys TIG welded the whole cage. Everything they could at least. So here's where it all goes south. This right here, make sure you read this. Lack of research and understanding. That's what's going on here. And that's the root of everything that you're about to hear. So we've just learned via Facebook post of the cage that we are probably not going to meet NHRA specifications. So what now? I don't know. 2 days worth of work down the tube, start over, buy more tube. I don't want to do any of those things. Not go to drag week. That's a real possibility. We need the seat, which requires a $365 bracket. The seat itself is like $450. I don't have any of these things. I also need a helmet. Don't have those because the roll bar can only be so far away from your head. This shit's fucking dumb. We're not even gonna go that fast. So now I have this. We're gonna put the factory seat in and see what it looks like. It's not a good fucking day. You like that one, Curtis?
That was a good one. It is.
It's 2 days worth of work, like 12, 14 hours each day. Like, it was rough. But again, I didn't do the research. I didn't understand what I was doing. And for whatever reason, I thought I could go to drag week.
First one was practice.
The first one was practice. That practice cost me a lot of money and a lot of time. Practice.
Well,
Jesus,
practice.
man. Moving on. Yeah. Current mental state of the crew was not great after we figured all this out. It did.
Just looked destroyed right there.
Yeah, we didn't get much done after that. No one was really talking. We're looking through rule books and whatnot, trying to figure out what we can save, what we can use. Basically, we learned we could use next to nothing. So, moving on. The roll cage was pretty much done at that point. Those guys had to go, so we kind of gave up. Here I've got my new seat. I only ordered one because they're expensive and I'm poor. That's a Corbeau. It's a fat guy seat. It's like the extra wide ones. It's a fixed back. It doesn't move, but they're pretty comfy. Here we got the engine back from the machine shop. This just kind of shows all the newness. Those are a Wiseco piston, and I believe we're running the shop's rods. They're an H-beam rod. There's the heads. They got them all milled down, finished, decked, whatever you want to call it. I got a bunch of new, I think almost every valve was replaced. New springs to match the cam. They put the cam in and timed the cam and put the timing gear set on for me. Here's one of Kurt's awesome ideas. So we're talking about reverse lockouts, and this is what we came up with. That counts, right? And it's already cold, so I think this is kind of meant to be.
Put a latch on it.
Yeah, so I think that would work, and that's a hinge we just had laying around, more on the theme of I'm poor. We didn't actually end up doing this, but I'm pretty sure that would have worked. I don't like. This is trying to meet the rules for drag week and whatnot. Because when I bought this shifter, I did not click the box with for the reverse lockout because it was like an extra $30, and I didn't think I needed it. A mistake. Always get the reverse lockout whether you're going to drag week or not. Yet another list.
The list. I love the list.
They just get out of hand so
They get
fast.
longer and longer.
Here's an actual order from Rock Auto. This is all sensors and a couple gaskets. $330. Boys, you need to think about this when you get started. Don't let this, might as well get a hold of you. It gets out of hand super, super fast. Got the head studs put on. That's Taya in the background going ham. You'll meet her later. She's having a good time right now.
Nice calm dog.
Yeah. Working on the old trunnion upgrade here. That's not gonna work very well. Luckily, I just bought these the other day. A little bigger, a little more stout. But these just stopped doing snap ring plier things. Oh, there they go. And this thing adjusts somehow, but it doesn't seem to change anything. So I guess this project's done. Gonna have to buy a super expensive pair of snap ring pliers now. One thing after another. That's another running theme, is one thing after another. And this is another, I just buy cheap tools because I don't have any money. Like, it's so expensive. I did end up buying a really nice set. And I don't think I've needed them once since I bought it. Got it, yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's how it goes. They'll be there when I need them.
I got a nice set at home.
Oh, that's good. Thanks for that. Wonderful.
Could have borrowed them.
Got all the head studs in. And then realized that this doesn't have a dowel like this. Which means the head just flops all over the place, wiggly woggly. That's not gonna work. I swear to God, this truck hates me. I really believe that for quite some time.
Kind of still does.
That dowel turned into a thing. Boy, I tell you. Such a little part was such a pain to get. It's a lack of knowledge, and we're learning as we go. Boy, I want to drive Pikes Peak. Moving on. So here we got a little internet fame for 12 seconds. This is Atomic Fabrication and Performance. This is the guy who built my seat brackets, and he also built the motor mounts for the truck. Really good work. Highly recommend him. But this is our truck here. If you see that there. This one here is us. And people liked it. I liked it. That's why I picked it. There they are. Passenger side. It says Dirty Gold on it. And I just felt like that was kind of the running theme of the truck. So I figured we might as well incorporate it where we can. Like, the whole point is we don't care. So let's build it. Let's break it. Let's build it. Let's break it. Like, that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're breaking too big of parts, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Break small.
Can't break small things. No.
Break smaller things. It's a really high quality piece. Really good stuff. Oh God, back to the dowel issue. Finally getting around to put this thing in. Here's the new one. Having a hard time getting it in there. I crush it, put a mic on it, like 17.56 millimeters all the way crushed, right? This guy in here, current existing one, not even crushed all the way, mic's out to like 1603. There ain't no fucking way I'm getting this thing in here. I started to gouge up the fucking block. I'm so over this truck. Just so over it. Why does everything have to be so hard? I actually took that dowel and started grinding it down like as if I was a mill, like just by hand, like I thought that would do any good. That did no good. Called the machine shop that had the engine, and I wish I would have done that weeks and weeks ago. He just shipped me 2 of them and told me if I ever needed them again, big block Chevy going in LS. So if you guys need to know that, big block Chevy will fit in the LS. Ah, yes. This is the proper way to use this tool, right? This is how we do most of the things around here.
This is how you're grinding on the...
Yeah, what I was doing was I was opening up, where you can pinch it together.
Yeah.
I was opening that up. That's how I did this. Yeah. Yeah, it was super sketchy. I don't even remember what this is. So we're like 3 months away from drag week, which we're trying to go to. My race truck has no engine, no transmission, no bed, no fuel system, no wire harness, no dash. But I got half a roll cage and a fucking race seat. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Good times, right?
All you need.
All we need, huh?
That's all you need.
Like, I find it funny too, but you find it so funny, it upsets me. Got it! I got it! I got it figured out, everybody. You don't have to keep worrying about the dowel pit. I got it.
He was so proud.
I got the
he sent me
dowel-
pictures,
I
called
got the-
me.
I got the
wanted
dowel
to throw a
pin figured
party, all kinds of stuff.
As far as I'm concerned, we were done. We were ready for drag week. It says if you're is it normal to flex your entire body and not breathe while torquing head bolts? I torqued the entire head bolt assembly with a 3/8 impact torque wrench because that's all I have because those things are super expensive and I'm poor.
Once again, I got one of those at home.
The engine wasn't at your house, Kurt,
No, it
and you
was
weren't
not.
here. Fab Shop take 2. So this is roll cage take 2. I don't even know what version to call it anymore. But at this point, I had cut all the cage out before they came back. And yeah, here we go, number 2. This is version 5-ish. Yeah, we'll just call it 5. We quit counting. But we think we got it all ironed out. We got Bob and Josh back at it again. What's up, Bob?
Problem.
Bends are too close together.
They are.
One cut, 2 bends in, and we have a problem.
We
Which
do.
results in another redesign? Is that what you're telling me?
No. Maybe.
It was another redesign. Plum Bob again, and this is another thing Bob just thought was the best thing on the planet, and he wanted me to put the apostrophe in there. I don't remember. That was some joke he had going with some friends. You can tell it's not actually good. Like, this is a piece of wire, and I believe that's a drill bit, so it's not accurate at all. Hey, look at that. That looks like a roll cage. Look at it. That's a good looking piece of metal work there.
And that looks like the one we got in there.
Yeah, it does. Ooh, look at all that lighting. Professional photography. There, it actually was a good day that day. Got a lot done. This is the only way I know how to keep them guys working for like 14-hour days. Cinnamon rolls and Monster. Lots of Monster. I'm more of a Red Bull man myself, but you know, whatever, to each their own. So they're welding the top of the cage. I thought this was interesting because I never knew how they welded the top of roll cages. You just drop it through the holes in the floor that you cut for the roll cage to go through. It makes total sense. I had no idea because I had never done it before. There's old Bobby boy doing some welding. They did TIG again on the whole thing. So we started painting it while it was down. That was the only time I could get it painted. Obviously, it's going to be gold. Why wouldn't it be gold? So this is after they left. I cleaned up. This is the worst thing about having your friends over. Like, yeah, they help you a lot, and I wouldn't want it any other way. But then when the work's done, they just leave. And you have to spend the next day and a half cleaning. So that's what I did this day. Take note of how empty this shop looks, because it does not look like this today.
No, you have a workbench there.
I can't believe that this... I don't remember it looking like this. It wasn't even that long ago. How did I accumulate all this garbage so quickly?
Just stuff everywhere.
So here Josh came back on his own to finish welding the cage. Bob couldn't come back. He come back to help finish weld. I'm not a welder, never claimed to be. There's the engine put back together. Put the turbo on it to make myself feel good. Didn't really care for the turbo placement. These are stainless manifolds from eBay. We'll see how long they last. Probably not very. Here we painted the seat brackets. Everything that gets painted is going to be gold. So if you haven't figured that out now, that's the theme here.
Gold or red?
I've never painted. Well, I guess I painted engine parts red.
Engine parts red. Yeah.
So here is Freiburger. This is when Roadkill Nights got canceled for the pandemic. Was hard and heavy right then. So at this point, it's looking like Drag Week probably won't happen, and I'm just keeping up to date on things. Here's our cam. Any of you guys want to know? It's the Sloppy Stage 2 everyone talked about for years. This is the Elgin E1840P. Specs are on there. I don't remember them all. It's the one everybody wanted. I got it cheap on Facebook Marketplace. I got it and springs. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it was a good price. You couldn't get them on the internet at this point in time because they would just sell out instantly.
Drove to that gas station in the middle of nowhere to meet the kid.
Yeah, that's the way those things go down. So I had bought this truck, not really knowing what I was gonna do with it exactly. I'll buy about any GMT 800. It's about the best truck ever made, and I'm a Ford guy. I know you probably don't believe it. We're only talking about Chevys right now, but I ended up selling it because the race truck needed money, as you can see. That's a theme. The race truck always needs money. Here's the original harness I got. I sent it to a guy in Kentucky who reworked it for me. He did a really nice job. Put a little fuse block on it. Labeled everything you can see up here.
Yeah, it was a good job.
But since we decided to go turbo, because why not, we don't know what we're doing, especially when it comes to tuning. So I kind of made my mind up. We were just going to buy a Holley Terminator system. And that's what we have in the truck right now. So I sold this because I needed the money for other race truck things, probably the Holley, because it's not cheap.
No.
I regret selling it now. It'd be nice to have an inventory for the next one, but whatever. This shows you again how poor I am. I use pizza boxes and old Christmas wrapping paper to paint the rest of the cage. Here you can see the cage is all painted up. Now I would like to take note that this on the floor in here that looks like dust, it's not dust, it's overspray, and I don't care. That's just the way it is. So here drag week officially got canceled. I acted like I was super bummed, but I knew damn well we weren't going anyway, so it's whatever. Then it happened again in 2021, but we did not even attempt to go. We didn't get much work done on the truck the last year. I was really kind of over it all, and that's a concern. You don't want to get into that phase because then it just sits and it rots. You got all this money sitting in it, but you're not enjoying it. But that's kind of where we're at. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We put drop shackles in the rear to get it down another inch or two to even it out. I didn't like the rake at all. So yeah, cue the obnoxious wheels. I finally got the color I wanted. We went with paint instead of a spray on vinyl or any kind. Thomas actually helped me do this. I say helped. I helped him. He did 3 out of the 4 wheels. Thomas is a body guy and a painter. That's what he does. I mean, not for a living, but that's what he enjoys to do, I guess.
That's what he went to school for.
Yeah, for high. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. He went to college. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I decided to do this. I think I was complaining a whole bunch about wanting to do it, but not wanting to do it. I think I wanted the wheels gold, but I didn't want to put the work in to do it because I knew it would turn out terrible, and I hate that kind of work. Thomas was over one day, and he's like, well, let's just do it. Let's just get started. And I think I said no like 5 times, and he talked me into doing it. But anyway, I decided to leave this one set of spokes here exposed. This is another thing like the tire stickers do. You'll be able to see them spin as the truck's going. I just think it's really neat. It was like a drift thing, like for points back in the day. I don't know if it's still a thing or not. I don't follow professional drifting, but yeah, I'm really happy with the way these wheels came out. Really, really happy. That's spray paint too, by the way. Donk truck. I thought this was funny. Build a donk. We're not building a donk.
Donk truck.
Do you not know what a donk is?
No, I don't know. What a
Oh
donk
my
is.
God, he doesn't even know we are on the automotive channel.
Yeah, we're trying to be.
Okay.
We're trying to be.
Wonderful.
Are you gonna explain it, or are you just gonna let me hang in there?
Nope, I'm leaving you hang. So we put the wheels on, and this should have made me feel real happy, but it wasn't. I was deep into not caring about this truck at this point in time. It was just depressing to me. Oh, so here we have the real expensive stuff showing up.
Wasn't that bad to install either.
Bro, I think Holly heard like how long I've been working on this truck and bitching about it because I ordered this stuff 2 days ago. And originally he said it was on back order. It's just better than Amazon Prime. Oh my God. Lord, I hope I don't screw this up. I made sure I wouldn't screw it up by making Kurt do it all. I didn't really do much anything. So we'll see how good it came out. We haven't even fired a truck yet.
No.
I have full confidence in Kurt, though. Kurt's the knower of all things, especially when it comes to electrical stuff. So here I sold my pool. I was running out of things to sell in order to fund the race truck, so I'm starting to sell pieces of my house. Yeah, sold a swimming pool. A big one, like, a big one. Needed every dime I could get. Painted the intake. I used this Hot Boy Red. I was actually a pretty big fan. Now this intake is not a good intake. It's actually like the least performing of all the intakes. But it's the one I had, so it's the one I'm running. Because the one I want is like $1,000, and it's not in the budget. You buy the $1,000 intake, Then you got to buy the $500 throttle body to match it. Then you might have to change your fuel injector, your rails. It's a rabbit hole. I gave up. I'll get the intake I want someday. It's not going to be today. So here, my buddy Chase did the floor again. I wanted to help. Kurt was working on the rear shackles this day. Chase came over to help with the floor, and I was trying to do most of my helping with Chase because it was a bigger job. But then Kurt would ask for a tool, or he was having trouble getting that bolt out.
Yeah,
I was just bouncing
they were
back and
rusted.
forth, putting stuff away or getting stuff for other people. By the time I turned around, it's basically all done. Because this wasn't fun. We had to tape that whole roll cage up, spray it down. Big shout out to Chase for helping out do that. He's got his own little thing going on now. Lady Performance, Leight. He's a diesel kid, but he's all right. I don't hate him. God, here we go with the fuel. So I didn't want to mount the fuel cell right in the bed, like on the floor, because I feel it's lazy and ugly. So I cut this out here. I was supporting the frame. I was gonna put it in between here and cut the floor out and have it raised a little. But after spending the entire afternoon building that frame for it over there, we realized that it's not gonna fit and it's gonna stick out here, which is both ugly and super unsafe in case someone hit me. I can't cut this out because it supports the shock to move it up further. I can't cut this one out because it supports the shock. So I got this hole here. Think, oh, this will be great. It'll fit in here good. It doesn't. So I figure I'll cut this out and put a piece of tubing that I have lower in. It's Snapchat, so it cut me off. Except I can't put a piece of tubing from here to there because there's gonna be a drive shaft there which will move. So now we're back to talking about mounting it in the bed of the truck, which I really don't want to do. Do you feel good about the work we've accomplished today? Me neither. Yeah. Got gold wheels though, so we got nothing accomplished. It was terrible. Everything I want to do, I can't do. Let's keep in mind here that the only reason I even pulled the bed off was for this fuel cell. That was not fun with just one other guy. We were screaming
It hurt.
like girls. So now if I want to get this fuel cell mounted this weekend, I'm going to have to call in some favors. I don't want it in the bed. It's going to go in the bed. It went in the bed. Spoiler alert, everybody. It went into the bed. All right, moving on from that horribleness. I just thought this was interesting. I had a red oil pan with the gold fitting. It just worked out. That's for the turbo drain there. Yep, that's a oil pan bolt. Those two guys go in the back of the oil pan. They're way longer than the rest of them. That's the rest of them up here. And they have a different torque rating than the rest of them. If you don't know that, this happens. You'll separate them. So that pretty much, that's not how that works. That pretty much ruined that entire day. There, look at that. Got the bed back on, wheels are on. Looks like a truck again. It's been on these jack stands for about a year now at this point. Yeah. There's the engine all assembled up, looking kind of purty. There's you guys want to know what injectors I'm running? This Snake Eater 1500s. I bought them from the same guy I bought the cam from. I got all that stuff from him.
You got springs, didn't you get some other stuff?
Springs, camshaft, and injectors. Here we got this table laid out with all our fuel system stuff for the day. Nice, neat, and organized. That table has never looked like that ever since that day.
Nope.
This day wasn't that fun. Kurt kind of nerded out on it. I didn't enjoy it that much.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, you would. You're a nerd. So, here's for not being a body guy, I feel like I paint a lot. And at this stage, I was painting a lot between the wheels, engine stuff, and here I am painting all the trim. Again, I would not have done this masking job at all, but Thomas came over. So, we did the correct masking job. And I believe Thomas painted one side of this truck and I painted the other. There it is. Painted this trim here gold, this emblem here, and the back of the mirror that used to be chrome. I do not like chrome at all. Thomas loves chrome. There's the engine back in, looking all purty. I don't know, I don't think it looks that good. Whatever. So here's the motor mounts I got from Atomic Fab. They're pretty stout. This is just kind of showing. Yeah, they're pretty heavy. That's a poly bushing in there. You can get solid mounts. They'll do whatever you want. Real good dude to work with. I believe his name is Richard. I think he's out of Alabama. He's got a hell of a truck.
New mounts look up.
Okay, so these are my cross members. I got these from a guy on the internet. I believe this came from Tyler Scruggs. I found him on like performancetruck.net or something on Facebook. He's in one of them GMT 800 groups. And I believe he just makes these out of his garage, but they're really nice. They free up a lot of space, and you can paint them gold. So,
Yeah, they fit in there perfect.
yeah, I'm a big fan of these. The guy does really good work. There she is back on the ground. This is after being on jack stands for about a year. This is Kurt jumping on it to see what our suspension looks like.
Okay. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Not gonna be a problem at all.
No.
Fuel system's all plumbed all the way back. Felt really good about that day. This is when I decided I really wanted to V-mount the radiator or the intercooler. That never happened. Became too much work. I got a whiteboard, so I made a bunch of lists. We knocked a bunch of stuff off that list. I think it's looking.
Yeah, there's a lot of X's up there.
Yeah, it's looking all right. I just thought this was hilarious. The dash on that truck was disgusting, so I used tire shine, and it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Oh, look, it's blue again. It's old blue. Using it as a workbench because my 9 miles are filled up over here.
So many workbenches are full.
Old blue always comes in whenever you need her. I love that truck.
Opens in a clutch.
Interior's back together. Seat, roll cage, floor's done, steering wheel, and even a dash.
That dash was a pain in the ass to put in.
I don't want to talk about it.
Whew.
I bought a second seat too. This is the nicest part of the
dang.
truck.
Best part of the truck.
This is me just being proud of my seat bracket.
And listen to Taylor Swift once again,
I like Taylor Swift's music.
all the time.
I don't know why you gotta hate. Like, she makes great music.
I don't know.
Every album's amazing.
All the time?
Yeah, all the time. Battery kill switch. Not sure if that would actually pass any tech.
No, it would not.
It's on the outside of the vehicle.
It's not. It covers up. It's supposed to be in the bumper.
I don't think it has to be.
It's supposed to be in the back end.
Whatever. So here we go. I got this built. This is a dual. This is your coolant overflow side here, and then this is your catch can for your crankcase ventilation. A guy named Colt. I don't even want to try and pronounce his last name. I'll screw it up. He runs Snail Fabrication out of Utah, and he builds these things. What an amazing piece.
Nice.
Extremely high quality. Like, I would definitely recommend, would definitely buy again. I will say they're not cheap, but you get what you pay for, man. This is a nice piece of kit right here. All in one unit. And look at that. Etch my name in it for me. He'll etch whatever you want in there. We're driving to Alaska. Kurt hasn't agreed to it. We're driving all the way to the Arctic Ocean.
I did if we could find 2 more people.
Well, who's going to agree to do that?
I don't know. Sure, we can find someone.
So I want to drive the Dalton Highway. That's what started it. It's a pretty cool road, and it takes you all the way to Prudhoe Bay, right at the Arctic Ocean there. But to get to the beginning of it, we got to drive 2 countries. So we're going to do it. It's going to happen. I got it mapped out. It's like 14 days or something. That leaves us 2 days for screw-ups.
That's driving 8 hours every day.
I don't remember.
Something dumb.
We're going to get to see the northernmost spruce tree.
You're really excited about that spruce
I'm
tree.
just
Why?
saying, there's all kinds of sights on the way. It's the northernmost spruce tree.
Got to be something more better to see than a spruce tree.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get to the Arctic Ocean, but there's that on the way. That's
It's
a
spruce
bonus.
tree. All right.
That's a bonus.
Can't wait. So
This
excited.
is the road here. Look at it. Look at it. Why don't you want to drive that?
That's a dirt path, by the way.
Whatever.
Just saying.
Allow me to school you in the shitbox life. We have a coupler inside a coupler to make the coupler actually fit the coupler for the tube, because we got this at a hardware shop along with this one here. There's also a coupler inside there to space it out correctly. We may have some boost leaks. Luckily, we're only running 15 pounds. What do you think, Curtis?
It'll work.
For now.
For now. I'll change it before we even start the truck. Shitbox spacer. Just
Bolts and washers.
bolts and washers. It works. It's still in there to this day.
That's another trip to the hardware right there.
We did a lot of
A lot of trips to the hardware.
It's not a good looking engine bay. But we hope it's functioning. So I bought this tablet for our gauge cluster because the ones Holly makes for it is super cool but super expensive. And I'm poor. Have I said that?
A couple times.
I'm poor. Oh my goodness, Tay-Tay. So,
She's hungry.
well, I can't afford to feed her. So I got this. You can download the software and you can run it on here. That's the plan as of now. We haven't actually used it yet. I'm gonna drive that someday. You'll be in the passenger seat. It'll be great.
Someone's got to record it, though.
We'll figure it out. So this is me with the software.
Yeah. Oh, click. Click. Click, click, click. Oh.
Yeah.
What the
I do.
fuck does this mean? God, I hate computers.
Yeah, I'm not good with technology. I gotta figure it out though. So kudos to me. I believe these are all photos I sent to Kurt and then he never responded to because that's what Kurt does.
That's a running thing. Never
not,
do.
I'm not even sure if we're friends. I
We are.
I really don't know.
I respond eventually.
Not all the
It took
time.
me 24 hours last time.
Yeah. Right.
It's an improvement.
I want to drive Tail of the Dragon. So we're just gonna find more roads that I want to drive. We're just gonna go drive them. We were actually really close
to it.
Tail of the Dragon.
30 minutes away.
Yeah, a couple months ago. We decided not to do Tail of the Dragon, and we ended up doing, what was it?
Tail the Newt.
Tail of the Newt, yes.
What highway was that?
That was Highway 3 outside of Crosby, Tennessee. Boy,
Yep.
let me tell you. I didn't count the curves, but I will tell you there are no intersecting roads. There was no traffic, and it was pretty sketchy. And we didn't do it with the red truck here because it's not a truck. We did it with Kurt's Toyota.
Yeah.
Got to the point the brakes got a little warm. And
Yeah, because someone refused to put it in second.
they stopped doing brake things so much.
Yeah, it did. Got scary.
But we made it. We made it. We did 2 laps, back and forth because
With no guardrails. There's no guardrails on that road either.
it turns
so-
to dirt after a while. We ended up in North Carolina, I believe. It got out of
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, it did.
The point is, we're going back with the red truck, and we might do Tail of the Dragon, but we're definitely doing Tail of the Newt again in the red truck. I'm doing Tail of the Newt. I'm sure Tail of the Dragon's great. I've never actually been there, but you guys got to check out Tail of the Newt.
I went down it with my Cobalt.
I don't want to talk about the Cobalt.
Hates the Cobalt. Hates it.
I also hate wiring. So here we are with the
Crankcase ventilation. You got these spare ones here. That hole on the passenger side, the driver's will fit a dash 10. And it already has a baffling system. It's not the greatest, but it's there. Driver's side has no holes. They drill one, whatever. But it doesn't have a baffling system up there. What it has is this little fucky thing that runs to this little guy, which is not big enough. And then it just straight blocks off. So to make these work, I have to cut these off, weld in some sort of, and then drill a hole to get a dash 10 in. I don't think I'm gonna do that.
I didn't do it. That's too much. So this is what $300 worth of AN fittings look like. I know it's not very much, is it? But they sent me a sticker and a sucker. These guys make really high quality parts, but man, AN fittings are expensive. And I do not recommend buying the cheap ones because I bought some of the cheap ones and they're noticeably cheaper. Noticeably, I don't trust them. Buy the good stuff.
Sad part is you didn't even use some of that stuff.
No, I still have it all.
Still have it all,
Yeah,
but
we
never
didn't,
used it.
We didn't use any of it. Yeah, we'll get into that here.
Yeah, it's coming.
Cleaned half the window, so you can tell how filthy it is and how long it's been parked in the shop. This is me cutting up brand new parts. Yep,
That
that's
we never
blood.
used.
Never used them at all.
Never used them.
Not once. Painted them though. Those are somewhere. Got one of the breathers on. Oh, look at that. We got a new lift.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a lift before. We got a lift. Is that my dog coughing?
I don't know.
So on today's episodes of I Build Cars, I took my coil packs off, drilled holes in brand new valve covers, took this charge pipe off to drill holes in it, and discovered that I need to change about 20% of the fuel lines underneath in order to put the flex fuel sensor where it belongs. Also, I have like 8 miles of bench space and it's all full. How is that possible? I remember when this used to be fun.
I almost don't remember it anymore. I think it was fun. It's still fun. What am I talking about?
It still is fun.
It's just, it gets so expensive.
We're just numb to all the pain and suffering that comes along with it.
I'm not that numb. You might be numb. I'm not that numb. I still feel it.
This is my entire exhaust system. The
What's
O2
that?
sensor is supposed to be 8 to 12 inches from the turbo and at least 24 inches from the end of the exhaust. Crap.
You like that? Good? You like that?
I like your hand in there for reference. So I mean, it's 6, 7, maybe 8.
It's not a whole much. I mean, that's not much of an exhaust system.
No.
Hood stack. I made t-shirts because I thought I was cool. Kurt's wearing one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Made some hoodies too. Yeah, I don't know. It's hilarious. Why did I do this? It cost a lot of money, but it is funny. I think it's funny, especially I don't wear them. It feels wrong. I'm the owner of the truck. It doesn't run. I really haven't worn mine out in public much at all, but I think it's awesome. We're gonna make more. Maybe we'll sell them. I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to buy them. I just been giving them out to friends, people who've been working on the truck, family members, whatnot.
I got a hoodie with that on there too.
Yeah, I got one too. So here's me looking at Motion's fancy coil brackets and valve covers with the awesome breather system and baffling system. They're really expensive though, and I didn't want to buy them. So I waited until I found some on their garage sale site, or their garage sale tab on their website, which is, you know, blemishes and whatnot, and I bought them. It didn't go well.
What a bunch of bullshit these stupid expensive valve covers are. We can use them with any coils. Yeah, that don't fucking look right to me. I'm calling it good though, because they're Nylox. And then the other bonus is, oh, you can take your valve covers off without taking your coils off. Bullshit. The holes all line up with these fucking coils. God damn it. I haven't been so pissed at it.
All right, we'll just pause there. Don't believe anything I said.
No,
This is all.
none of it was correct.
This is all operator error here.
Oh, yeah.
I was upset because they didn't come up with any directions, right? And there's like 455 screws you put in this thing, but they don't come with any directions on purpose because there's like 15 different ways you can assemble them depending on what you needed. This was my second attempt to do this myself. Kurt showed up while I was right around this time here. And Kurt figured it out in 2 attempts of his own.
I had to do
believe.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 attempts total between the 2 of us, and we actually got it put together correctly. It needed flipped and inverted.
Rotated.
And
Yeah, it needed, like,
rotated.
they were like opposite sides, and it also needed
and upside
flipped.
down.
Oh yeah, it was.
We got to figure it
every
out.
direction.
Motion does great work, so don't listen to me.
No.
Just know going in, like, you have options. Figure out what you need.
Yeah.
You know. There's a sensor I bought that's obviously not the same as the stock one.
That one was not fun to get in.
Yeah, I wouldn't
At
know.
all.
I let you do it.
Need to be installed before we put the motor in. We didn't do that.
We don't ever do anything right.
No, never.
I kind of felt like things looked like they were moving forward here because I got the catch can in and I put the exhaust on
We have
just to look
taken
at.
that turbo off 700 times.
Is it off? It's off right now.
It's off right now.
It's over there on the bench. Oh my God, I love making AN lines so much. I don't enjoy it.
We got good at it though.
Did we?
I feel pretty confident at it.
All right, I'll remember that the next time it's time to build some. Hey, Bob got his dirty gold shirt. There's Tay-Tay. There's my filthy house. Moving on. There's Tom Tom. Tom Tom's got his on. Tom. He doesn't really, I don't know if he likes Tom Tom. It's Thomas. This is sweet Oldsmobile here that he loves, and a very select few. It's an interesting community that likes Thomas's taste in vehicles. He likes them big. He likes G-bodies. Thomas, I tried to get Thomas on board with this whole YouTube thing. He's on the fence. He says no. He means yes. It's just going to take a lot more time to get him into it.
He'll be in it.
He'll be in it. He'll be involved. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
him. I'm currently storing his car for him. He helped.
No chance.
He helps me anytime I ask for help. So he's out of shop space. So I took his car in. So yeah, there's Tom Tom. You'll see him again. Don't worry about it. Curtis representing his hoodie. And there is the current state of the red truck where we're at today. That hood came off 3-4 years ago and has never went back on ever.
Didn't we put it on one time, didn't we?
Oh yeah, to transport it here. It was on. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
on when we brought it here. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd we do that? Did we think we were done? Yeah, we thought we were done.
Because we took it to that shop and
Yeah,
we had it on.
Yeah, it was done at that point. Yeah. So yeah, this is where we sit right now. There's still a lot more work to be done. We
So
need
much.
to make the engine run. I am changing transmissions because I don't want an automatic.
Manual.
So that's coming up. We'll try and show you guys how we will put a T56 in this truck.
3 times.
I don't. I wouldn't want to call it how to at all. This is how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, this is how not to.
So we're gonna change the brakes out on it. We're gonna upgrade them and some coilovers and maybe a 3-link. But yeah, hopefully we get this truck up and going this winter and we bring you guys along for the ride. I think that's about it with the red truck.
Sounds good.
Don't-
Yeah, got a radiator put in. Rear end.
And we do have a radiator to put in.
Yep.
All right, fellas. We'll see you guys in the future. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe and like.